Good win for us tonight. Anytime you can, win more games than you did before. And I'm told this is the first time in 16 years that we've won 18 games here for this program. So I'm pleased about that. We continue to take steps moving forward as we continue to build. Tonight's game, very happy for our seniors that they were able to get a W on senior day. I thought Ball State, did a good job throughout fighting. In particular, Majip, he made his presence felt in the paint. He outplayed us for his 32 minutes on the floor. But anytime you can turn a team over 18 times and create some transition offense to get you some easy baskets, I thought that helped us today. We started off the game decently. I thought midway through the first half, we got a little stagnant and we didn't close the half as expected. When we started the second half, we forcing some turnovers, getting some easy layups, and I think once we took control of the game, went up 12 or 13 points, we pretty much held on to it. But it was a good win for us. We want to continue to get better. We weren't great tonight, but you're not going to be great every night, but you have to find ways to win, and we did that tonight.
Coach, you talked about forcing 18 turnovers tonight. Game before against Northern Illinois, you had 23. Is it safe to say with the MAC tournament coming up next week, you guys are getting everything together on defense?
Well, we weren't great tonight defensively. Our guys were active. They got their hands in the passing lanes, caused some deflections, which led to some turnovers. But Deshaunte Riley wasn't great tonight. I don't think he was good, average. We need him to be better. We need him to dominate, sort of like what Majip did tonight. And not in the scoring area, just on the defensive side of the ball. And he'll get better. Today was senior day, a lot of emotions. He didn't come out with fire. His whole family was here, but I know he'll get better. And as a unit, we'll continue to get better.
I want to ask a question for JR and Anthony. This guy's been here for 5 years now. The program's obviously changed a lot in that time. Could both of you talk about the positive changes that have happened that you've seen being a part of this program for the last 5 years?
Yeah, I'll go for it. As Coach talks about, 18 wins, most in the UC last, 17 years. So, each year it's been more focused on winning. I think it's been taken a lot more seriously than it has in the past, just the changes with, everything that, makes you want to be a part of a winning program. So it's been a lot of changes in that aspect. And, as we continue to, season winds down, it's about like getting momentum going into tournament. So we want to just keep on getting these wins and see what we can do.
And this is for one of you two. If it being your last regular season home game, were there any emotions going through your mind before the game?
It was just because me being a walk-on, I walked on with the old coach, and I got the opportunity to play with Coach Murphy. And it was kind of like just thinking about where I could have been. That's where my kind of emotion was today, because I don't know if he came here and said, I'm going to bring in my own players and you can't be around. I don't know where I'd be. So it's kind of like just a real moment today. Like I could have been somewhere else. I'm still here. So.
Yeah, on that note, it seemed like the two of you, when you came in under a different coach, had to become part of this new defensive system that Coach Murphy brought in. And it seemed the two of you really seemed to excel defensively. What about the 2-3 zone? And Anthony, I'll ask you first. What about the 2-3 zone that you feel that you really embrace?
Just the principles, just learning the principles. It's just when we all first got here, it was kind of like that's all we did, just drill the zone principles, and it felt like, well, for me personally, I had to buy in order for me to stay. So that's really what I jumped into. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel like. That's why I feel like I excelled at it, because that was my focus, because that was his focus, and that's kind of how I picked it up.
Yeah, Jared, how was it for you?
Well, Coach is obviously defensive oriented, so doing your job is a big focus. If one of us breaks down, it hurts all of us, especially in that zone. So it's basically just always doing your job, because that everyone has a huge role to play. Because if you mess up on one part, it's going to screw everything else up. So you got to do what you're supposed to do throughout while you're in there playing defense. So big part of it.
Okay. And going back to the game, take me back to the beginning of the second half when you guys were able to overcome that quick run from Ball State to end the first half. How was it to be able to expand that league to double digits?
I think we were just super active. We got our hand in the passing lanes. We got our hands on a lot of basketball. A lot of the basketball just created some deflections, which led to turnover situations. And Ray did a great job of getting out in transition. Mike did a great job of pushing, and also Carrington Ward to start that half. And anytime you can get into a flow of the game where you're playing good defense and create some easy opportunities to score, the game becomes more fun. You become more active on defense, and it's able to get a lead for us, and obviously we were able to protect it.
I guess looking ahead, you got a tough road game coming up on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What can you take from what happened with Western, where you really controlled them at home and then went on the road and there was a little bit more trouble with them? What can you take from that to the Toledo game?
Well, it's always tough, when you go into anybody's venue to be successful, especially in this conference. We pride ourselves on winning at home and trying to still on the road. Western game, it was a little different situation because you were coming off a Northern Illinois loss. And sometimes when you lose, moving on to the next game, depending on who the player is, it could be tough. So we had a few guys mentally not where they should have been for the Western game. And we had the lead on Western, maybe 5.5, maybe 4.5 to go, and just didn't finish the game. I think Toledo's a really good basketball team. I'm excited to go there and play, simply because when you're supposed to be the best and you're ahead of us, I don't care where the seedings are and what the MAC tournament is about. I want to go there and close our season out strong. We still have our own goals that we're trying to accomplish. We want to win as much as we possibly can. When you get a chance to do it against a really good team on the road, I think that best prepares us for the postseason as well, continue to get better and showing ourselves we can go on the road and be successful.
Anything else?
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.